Thank you for checking out Annette's Astrology Corner. And this is your daily forecast and energy reading for May 14th. And I just want to tell you that today starts off a cascade of events. Yesterday you saw the storm in the distance, that second half of the storm, but it was really hard to wrap your head around the storm coming because it was so beautiful where you were and so many wonderful, energizing events that happened that you really didn't take heed. You didn't really go outside and like, oh my God, the second half of the storm is coming. I need to, batten down all the hatches and I need to go out there and put the boards back up over the windows and, secure all my items, put all my pictures in higher ground because you were so caught up in the beautiful energy that happened yesterday. So today you're in panic mode. I definitely believe you're in panic mode. And so this is going to start off just a feeling of anxiety. I feel tremendous anxiety from this day. I think you're going to wake up feeling heavy, feeling burdened, and you're going to know that something is coming. And the reason that I say this is because there is so much opposition throughout the day. I can barely find any really positive energies to really concentrate on. So let's talk about all of this, and then let's talk about how to actually get in touch with the highest vibration of this day so that you can manifest a very productive day even in opposition, because I always say that opposition is actually the way that you grow and flourish, okay? So without opposition, we wouldn't grow. So you need days like today and you need days like yesterday to balance each other out. Your sun in Taurus is going to be opposed by Saturn. And when your sun in Taurus is opposed by Saturn, there's a propensity to be a slave to your past. Tauruses are very apprehensive about being hurt, which is why they take so long to make a decision, especially when it has anything to do with long-term goals. So there's a situation that came up that you want to believe the rosiest of that situation, but the past has proved this to you, so you have doubts. So yesterday was kind of like a day where you stepped on the gas, but today is a day where you want to slam on the brakes. That's the way that I feel about this day. Now, I want you to remember that Mars is in Gemini, okay? And Mars in Gemini is also opposing Saturn. And Mars in Gemini energy, when it's opposed, it doesn't like restriction. It doesn't like to be stopped. So you've got your sun, your soul not really trusting itself right now. And you're looking at your situation thinking, I don't really know how to pursue this situation. And then you've got Mars in Gemini opposing Saturn too. There's a lot of past pain here, so there's a lot of reasons to step on the brake, but Mars is like, I don't care. I don't care. I want to go. So when Mars is in Gemini like this, it's combative. It gets really, really anxious. There's a lot of anxiety that forms because this puts Mars in a passive-aggressive state. Instead of just being fully Mars and pushing forward and being blunt and assertive in its conversations, it's almost like a passive-aggressive kind of, they kind of just nitpick and they make a mountain out of a molehill pretty much. I mean, that's the way that I see the energy. I do like one energy. I like to concentrate on the high vibration of the day, and so that's what I'm going to talk to you about doing later on. Mars in Aries the moon in Aries is going to be sextiling Mercury in Gemini. I want to talk about a moon in Aries. A moon in Aries is a different kind of moon. Now, you just went through this sweet, sultry, just pretty cute little Pisces moon that just really wants you to be creative and expressive emotionally, really wants you to give to others, is very charitable, is very loving. An Aries moon is probably the most different kind of moon from that than you could be. I mean, they're just polar opposites. Aries moon is like not my favorite moon. I have an Aries moon, and when something pisses me off, when something ignites my emotional awareness, like say if something hurts me in any way, I immediately go into Mars mode, because Mars rules Aries, and in this case Mars is in Gemini. So I see for Geminis, if something hurts a Gemini's feelings, normally they always get they're either passive aggressive, they say their little thing, they manipulate the situation to make you believe that it's your fault, and then they run off. But when your moon is in Aries and then Mars is in Gemini, this is going to make for a very combative communication style. It's going to make you want to hurt with words. And as you know, words hurt actually much more than I think. I would rather have somebody beat the hell out of me than somebody hurt me with words, because words stick so long. So I want you to be very conscious today. Now, you have the moon in Aries, which is going to be sextiling Mercury in Gemini. I love this. We would be so out of luck if we didn't have this dynamic for today, because it's going to be a very highly sensitive day. But when your moon is in Aries and it's sextiling Mercury in Gemini, that means through conversations, you're not going to have that passive aggressive style unless it's with a past situation. So say if you keep diving back to your past, you're going to have this opposition, this passive aggressive, nitpicky way, and you're going to point out all the really bad things. But if you're talking about taking the situation and moving it forward, where Aries loves to go, and Aries moon is all about moving forward, they want to forgive and forget. They don't even want to remember the past, because you know what? Today's a different day, and they want to just remember the best of the situation, and they want to think they can fix it, and so they want to charge the hill, and they think they can do that through communication, through effective communication. Now, if you always approach conversations today in forward thinking, today is going to be a wonderful and very, the vibration in today is going to be very high. If you're talking about a past situation that probably is starting to come up into your life, and you start looking back too much, you're pessimistic because there was too much pain in the past, then this situation is going to be a very volatile situation, and you're going to want to charge the situation, and you're going to use your words to hurt people. And you're going to be very good at it, by the way, because the Aries moon is sextiling Mercury. So you're going to hit hard and you're going to hit deep. But understand that's not the situation you want to do. And the reason that I say this is because Mars, which is the ruler of Aries, okay, Mars is the planet of passion, the planet of war. Okay, so I want you to really wrap your head around. And it's in Gemini, so it's in communication. It is squaring off with Saturn, and it is opposing Saturn, and it is squaring Neptune and Pisces. So, this person may want to paint a really rosy picture of what really happened, but you're like, that's totally not what happened. And I'm going to tell you what it was. And you're going to be blunt and very rude about it. And they're not going to see it like that, because to them it's an emotional situation. It's something that, goes beyond, that limited situation that you're talking about. But you're just stating the facts, because that's the way an Aries moon is. They're just very fact-based communicators, and they don't got time for the ooey gooey stuff. They want to just get it done and get it over with, because they want to go on to the next, thing that they've got going on. Now, I think that this day is going to be a hot mess. It could be if you work in the low vibration. But there's so much energy that can make this day an effective day for you if you concentrate on it right, okay? I know this is a volatile day. I know this is a day it's just wrought with apprehension. It's wrought with opposition. And so that's going to make an Aries moon highly emotional and just want to have that feeling to go to war all day long. But there's more energy than that, you know? You've got the communication. If you have the awareness, if you have learned anything from all the Pluto-Uranus squares, you know that situations can be worked out and worked out in some kind of rational fashion, right? Because Venus in Cancer is going to be still trining Neptune in Pisces. So you can turn the conversation around by talking about the best things about those partnerships. The best things that they offered your life. You can say, I know we fell apart. And I know, I did this and this and this to you. Here's the thing. I'm still in love with you, and I know I can make it better. And they're going to probably want to tell you every reason why, through this Saturn opposition, every reason why you hurt them. And you're going to say, I know that used to be me. That's not me anymore. I am a different person. I just went through the Pluto-Uranus squares. I'm evolving. I'm not that person anymore. And you're going to just take a step back and you're going to say, you're going to have this diplomatic fashion about you to really look at the sensitivity in the situation and communicate effectively through that. If you do this right. If there's if you come at these people with a combative moon, a combative Aries moon, then, you're going to destroy that opportunity, whatever it is that comes your way. So I just assure you to stay in the high vibration of that day. The next energy that I want to talk about is your Mercury in Gemini is going to be sextiling Jupiter in Leo. Now, again, whatever Jupiter touches, it expands, okay? So if this is a very wonderful conversation, you can make this a very highly effective conversation. You can, and it's definitely involving love and romance. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this has something to do with something that means a great deal to your heart. It's a home and family situation. It's something to do with money. It's something to do with the things that make your foundation really, really strong. But again, it's going to make your sun vulnerable. Anytime that your sun is vulnerable, if you have not been awakened or not have been evolving fully, you're going to take the low vibration of that and be defensive and want to protect yourself from that situation. You're going to be like, like this because, anytime that Venus is in Cancer, Cancer just wants to regress and go into its shell and hide from the situation more than it wants to face it. But again, there's an Aries moon here, and an Aries moon is a fierce moon. It's a confrontational moon. It's a moon that gets things done. It's a moon that doesn't, have ego issues at all. When it's pissed, it's knows that it can handle the situation. So there's a lot of ways this energy can go. It's going to be totally up to you. To be quite frank with you, this day is all about how you, in particular, know how to see a high vibration in a day and a low vibration, and to direct your conversations based on the vibration that you're in touch with. If you feel that today there's a volatility in this with this person or with this situation, I say put this situation off. You don't need to deal with this right now. You really honestly don't. We're going to have Venus going retrograde, and that's a great time to dive into this kind of stuff. You don't need to do it right before Mercury goes into retrograde and there's all of this volatility stirring around the universe, okay? And that was an opportunity for yesterday, and maybe you missed it, but or maybe you really jumped on the bandwagon, because today could be a beautiful day. It really could be. But you just got to stay in the high vibration of today. Thank you for listening to my forecast. That is your May 14th forecast, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.